could read my mind, love, what a tale my thoughts could tell. Just like an old-time movie about a ghost from a wishing well, in a castle dark or a fortress strong with chains upon my feet. You know that ghost is me, and I will never be set free.
So just like something I've noticed that has been helpful that you've done with a lot of other people. I think maybe I've done it with you once, where it's like kind of riffing off the script a little bit. Going, yeah. That's so helpful because and it gets your face in check, it gets your head in check. It really puts you in the zone, I guess.
Yeah, because people lock into the line in the script, and it becomes like a bunch of words in a row. It becomes a bunch of alphabet letters. It stops becoming an organic thing that's coming out of the person, out of the circumstance, out of the relationship. Right? So just riffing on it in your own words can help you find that organic, spontaneous way of saying it. And then you know how to say that line. It stops just becoming those alphabet letters.
Yeah, exactly. It comes from a more real place to the actor as well. Like whatever incites the biggest reaction, I think, really helps bring it out. And so
it helps come out with a true intention, right?
Yeah.
True intention of your character, because if you can just talk as your character, if you can think as your character and talk as your character and go to the specific topics that they have to talk about, because they're varied, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
There's just so many different things that your character talks about with different tactics and different attitudes, right? So you need to understand what this sentence has to do with it. Like when I was just having Randy just now going, what does it mean? You got to work hard for that. He's not talking about working hard. He's talking about being a stupid idiot.
Yeah.
Right.
It really showed. Yeah. That's why I thought about it. I was like, that's such a useful technique because the difference is night and day. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. It is. Good. Anybody else have something to add?
It was just my imagination running away with me. It was just
I do. Kind of along those lines, I think this week, I felt like I got a lot out of like thinking about my characters' circumstances of where they are in their life right now and what other things are happening kind of outside of this scene. So like I'm on this date thinking about like taking a little bit of time to like think about where my character is like mentally and emotionally at this point in their life, like in this moment. So like I'm on this date and, it's my first like lesbian date. So I am, I'm excited, but I'm also like constantly checking to see if it's going the way that it should be going, whatever that looks like. And then also like I have this family situation where my mom has had a suicide attempt recently, but also isn't taking it very seriously. And so I have this other like very real stuff going on in addition to the stuff that I'm trying to figure out about myself. And then I'm on this awkward date. And so like this date was supposed to be me like getting out and doing something for myself, and it's like not working. And so it's just like once you kind of dig into and internalize all those layers, it felt easier to I guess to like inhabit the character.
Yeah. When you think about all the things that she's going through, there's definitely, and the fact that she's chosen this as something to do out of all the things that are going on for her, there's a real need. There's a need from her to be loved, to be sexual, to have something exciting happen in her life, that all those things really are part of it, aren't they? Of what you want in the scene. I want a relationship, but I also want to be with somebody that I'm really excited by, that there's actually that sexual tension with it. Because I imagine if you're experimenting with lesbianism, you're thinking there might be something in this that I haven't been getting somewhere else. You know, that thing that's missing in your life.
Mm-hmm. And you don't know
Right.
what that is or feels like. So then you have to be checking to see if it's there and being like, oh, is this it? Is this it? Or like, alternatively, oh, is this normal? Is it supposed to be awkward like this?
Right. But obviously, if you did have kissed her, right, you said that you guys have kissed, that there was excitement in it, that there was arousal in it, right? And so that's why you said yes.
Yeah, that's a good point too. I guess I hadn't considered that. I think I went too far in considering the other things.
Right. You just have to figure out why you're there. You know, why am I here right now?
Right. And distill it into one. So I guess kind of counter then to what I was just saying. And this is a thing that I took away from last week specifically. Like, it's best to just play to one objective. Like I was telling Rebecca in our rehearsal this week, I was like, I feel like my objective is always a paragraph. And it needs to just be like one little snippet.
One little sentence. You know, and you know, you can expound on it, you know, because of this, and this. You can always say why, but what you want, it should just be one nice, concise thing that you can go after.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I want a relationship that's exciting but personal. Right? I want something new in my life as far as relationships are concerned. I don't want it to be superficial.
Right.
You seem to be veering away from, you know, because you could have just, then when you kissed her, just gone off then and done it. But no, you want something more. You want something that's everything. I want everything. I want it all.
Yeah.
Someone who understands me, someone who loves me, somebody who excites me. Good.
I'm thinking about that now. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Sure.
It was just my imagination running away with me.
Finding your character's perspective is so interesting and exciting. It's like being able to get into someone's mind. I had talked to somebody recently about the fact that talent, what I call talent in an actor, is really imagination. You know, the more you are able to imagine, the better you're going to be. You know, some people just don't have imaginations, right? They can't imagine themselves being anything than what they are now, or imagine that something's happening to them that isn't happening to them. So real talent is about imagination, and that goes hand in hand with empathy. The thing is, you can't feel empathy for another person unless you have a great imagination, right? You know, when you see something happening to someone, if you're really feeling for them, you're thinking, that could be me, right? And that is what an actor needs to be able to do all the time. You know, sure, this character isn't me right now, but it could be. And how would I feel if it was me? And what would I think if it was me? What would I say if it was me? Right? And that's imagination and empathy. So practice doing that in real life. Look at other people going through things and think, I wonder what they're thinking right now. I wonder what they're feeling right now. How would I feel if I was them? Because that's what we have to do. That's what our business is, right?
Couldn't be a dream, for too real it all seemed. But was just my imagination.
I was listening to the Team Deacons podcast. Roger Deakins, the cinematographer, has a podcast. I think it was the one with Josh Brolin, and he was talking about how imagination was the greatest thing for an actor, because when you're on set, there's people everywhere, and you have to imagine. I mean, even if you're in a castle doing a real castle doing a knight's thing, there's still lights and there's cameras and there's everything else that wouldn't be there if you were a knight. So
I know. This guy with a boom mic is following you around all the time.
Right.
And you have to be in bed having sex with someone sometimes with the boom mic over you. And someone with the powder brush ready to powder you up because you're sweating too much.
Right.
You know?
Or you're in front of a green screen and there's nothing there.
There's nothing there, and you got to say a monster. Ah! You have to have an incredible imagination to be an actor. So the more you can exercise your imagination and your empathy, the better off you're going to be as an actor. Being able to imagine yourself in circumstances that are not real. To be real in imaginary circumstances.
To real it all seemed, but it was just my imagination once again, running away with me. If you could read my mind, love,